I'm driving, y'all. But I wanted to come on here because I gave the story about being on my land and having the city county come up. And basically, at first, he wasn't very personable at all, and was basically accusing me of he got complaints of someone being homeless out here, which is on my land, which I've had over 13 years now. And so just a continuation of that, people say, oh, veterans, there's lots of programs for veterans. I'm a veteran and a disabled veteran at that. It's actually a neighbor who said, go to the VA and, because when this happened before where when I was out here for a couple years, fine, and then they got a complaint, I guess, regarding campers being on my land, which if it's not up to a certain code, they were a little bit older, they weren't brand new. So the campers, they got a complaint about the campers, and I was like, oh my goodness, I don't have nowhere else to go. I was panicked, and I asked the city, and I called around. I called the charity places, the churches. I called everywhere, and the county. And I feel like, if the county's going to come around and, or the city, whatever, and tell you have to go, you're being accused of being homeless, even though this is your land and your things aren't up to code. They should have, as far as American humanitarians that we are, we're helping people across the border, and we're just really being extravagant about it. I know before it was kind of tough for people to come in. They had to have sponsors and all this, and they had to marry people and fake it to make it. But anyway, back to the point. So, if the county's going to kick people off their own land, basically, and cost all this expense I had to pay to get my campers removed, there should have been somewhere to say, hey, okay, you're a veteran, you're an American, you can get housing here, you can do this, you can do that, you have this or that option. I was like, can I even get help with getting these campers off? So since this is your business, making sure things are up to code and campers are gotten rid of, you've had this experience before, so can I get some assistance or some kind of, can you tell me where I can go? I wasn't getting no information, nothing. I was basically just like, hey, we'll be back in a certain amount of days. If it's not gone, you're going to get fined and you're this and that. So, like I said, it was a neighbor who said, check with the VA, and even to get that information, it was actually through another veteran is who I found the person to contact, because it's not easy with veterans hospitals are pretty big, but you go to the front desk, this or that, and they're like, they have no idea, and come to find out, yes, there is, in case there is a veteran that needs help or needs to direct another veteran, there is the social worker, and not the social worker for your clinic, because my social worker didn't help me with that. It is the social worker for who did I end up calling? They ended up coming out to the land, but I think it was a Veterans Crisis Line. It was the Veterans Crisis Line that I'm calling, and they are amazing. Now that group, that office needs to stay. They are amazing. I love the Veterans Crisis Line. They're very professional, very helpful, very understanding, very, very good, excellent. And they're the ones that I told them was going on, because I was in crisis. I was so upset. I called Veterans Crisis Line, and they actually got somebody out there, and that's how I found out who there was a social worker for housing at the VA. And but it's a Veterans Crisis Line that helped direct me to housing, because I would have been prepared for housing if I didn't already spend my money for the month, and I thought it'd be fine on my own property. But uprooting like that and having to get rid of campers, all that expense was unexpected. So I wasn't ready to put down a deposit and move, just up and move somewhere. I wasn't expecting to have to do that. So I'm very grateful for Veterans Crisis Line. They guided me to the help that I needed at the VA. So now, come to find out afterwards, now there's, with the housing that they do have for veterans, it isn't free. It is, if you're a disabled veteran, it's 40%. At least here in North Florida, it's 40% of what you get. So that's a huge chunk. Think of 50% of your money, 40% of your money gone that you're used to having to budget with. So I've had to do side work and all this, try and find something to do, but I've had to try and make ends meet. I've had to do that because I have chicken feed costs, animal feed costs, and so I just want to put that out there. Veterans Crisis Line helps, and hopefully if a veteran that's in a crisis. Oh, and the point was, so veterans that they do say that they're helping, I believe I found it from other people, it's those that are under a bridge. Those they have groups that from the VA that go speaking to those men. Those men are way out there. They're not like just an injury. They have severe mental issues, PTSD, and they don't want 40% of their pay. That's their beer, their wine money, or whatever money they need. They're used to using. They're not going to just give that up. So, people just need to know when they say there's housing and these veterans. I've seen some comments on some sites, these veterans have all the help they need and they're just not getting it together, and that's another thing. You really can't say that because there's mental health issues. These men have sacrificed, these people, ladies also, sacrifice, and there's things we've gone through, and you can't just say, they're this or that. You cannot judge mental health, and we're Americans. We help others. We need to help ourselves, especially people that have sacrificed, were willing to sacrifice their life to keep this American way. It needs to be respected. Thank you.